Not all men are rapists, not all men sexually harass women, and not all men are bad. Hi my lovelies, this is Catherine. Even though I'm not wearing black today like the women in the Golden Globes, but we are having a black background because we are going to talk about sexual harassment. I'm sure you're familiar with the whole hashtag not all men mantra, especially after Matt Damon brought it up in a conversation recently about how not all men sexually harass women. Anyone who's involved in feminism or the fight for gender equality will know how toxic and utterly wrong that phrase is, or at least I hope they would. First off, every time there is a conversation about how women feel unsafe in any environment or are harassed, there would always be some men out there who claim that not all men are like that. The thing is, the conversation isn't even about men to begin with. It's about women and sexual harassment. Don't be so defensive. Why do you feel the need to twist every conversation into being about men? I've noticed with some of the men that I've interacted with how they always seem to turn the spotlight back on men every time there's a conversation about women. I remember this one time when I was talking about the difference between sexual liberation and sexual objectification. This man just whooshed in and he said, "Well, what about men? Aren't they objectified too?" Yes, they are, but we were not talking about men. Even though there are men out there who don't go out of their way to sexually harass women, most of those who don't also happen to stand by and watch their brothers catcall or sexually harass other women. How many of you have stood by or participated in the whole locker room talk or laughed when you hear a sexist joke? Doing nothing does not equate to being innocent. You're contributing to the problem by not doing anything about it. Men are complicit. Besides, men still benefit from the system that oppresses women, whether they want to or not. Just because a man doesn't sexually harass a woman is not a cause for celebration. He shouldn't be given a participation trophy just for not participating in the problem. He shouldn't be given a participation trophy just for being a decent human being. That is the least that you can do. Setting the bar for good men by simply not sexually harassing women is offensive to men out there who actively fight against patriarchy. Of course, there are occasions when you can say not all men. For example, not all men are attracted to women, or not all men are assigned male at birth. You can also say not all men when you're trying to make a claim that rape is not normal, or that it's not something to be expected of men. That's when you can use it. Those of us who are fighting against sexual harassment or the not all men mantra are not fighting against men. We don't hate men. We are fighting against patriarchy. And guess what? Patriarchy and toxic masculinity also harm men. We're all in this together and we need you to be our allies. It's not a competition to see who is the most innocent. It's not men versus women. Maybe, just maybe, we should start focusing on the real problem here. Thank you all so much for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe and click that little bell. I will see you next week. Bye!